Yes, I'm in business. Thank you very much, Commissioner, for that reply. That does sound very positive. However, the problem, and I want to stress this, is that in the old preferences system, there was a human rights clause. But in the past, this did not automatically mean that human rights abuses didn't happen. And my question was really centered on what is going to be different this time round. In future, what guarantee can you give? In future, what can the Commission do to ensure that the human rights violations don't take place? And I'm now getting to my end. Do we have figures that under the government there have been 300 violations against human rights defenders, and there have actually been murders of the, if you like, the leaders, or the ringleaders. In this case, it was people standing up for human rights in the countryside, having to do with land tenure and so on. And my question is, how are you going to ensure that it sticks this time around? Thank you.
Commissioner.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. First of all, ensure is a somewhat difficult word that you are using. We are not an insurance company. We are a political body that has been negotiating a free trade agreement with Colombia in good faith and with a very clear provision with respect to fundamental rights that are an essential provision of the agreements, which means that we can suspend without prior consultation if there would be gross infringements. And this is different from the existing GSP arrangement, because there, prior to a suspension, you need an inquiry. So here we can do it even without prior consultation, so it goes further. But it is my firm belief that it's not only about this, it's also about creating new opportunities through the trade agreements. And it's by eradicating poverty, it's by giving new opportunities to people that we will be able to combat this. And thirdly, I must say that I'm personally convinced that the authorities are doing everything possible to stop this, that they are very honest with respect to this. That's my conviction. But you should not forget that we are speaking about a country that 2 decades ago was in, and has been for the 2 decades that are behind us in war. I remember the first time that I went to Colombia was in the beginning of the 80s, and then it was even dangerous during the day to just walk a couple of hundreds of meters in the main street of Bogota. So the situation is much better than it was at that moment in time, really much better. And the governments, be it the one of Uribe and now the one of Santos, are really serious in trying to combat this.
Further supplementary from Mr. Zemke.